as we switch on over to Standard. I'm going to pass it on over to Ailey and Corey.
Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you, Monty and Tannen. Welcome to the desk, by the way, buddy. Corey, we are back in the booth. We are ready to rock and roll for Constructed. It is Standard.
Yes.
We're going to see lots of blue and red spells being cast, friends, in the hands this round of Toni Martos, who also played Is It Lessons in the event that he qualified for. So it's going to be interesting to see how this match shakes up here against Kai Nelson, you know, marching to the beat of his own drum once again, playing Gold mid-range.
No, it's going to be really interesting to see if this is similar to the Pro Tour that we had here in Richmond, where there was a deck that people were gunning for, and it is that other style of decks that are coming to beat them going to take it down, or is the big bad of the format going to be that good? So those are the big questions that we need to answer here.
Yeah.
Looking forward to Standard.
Is it prowess? Is, as you say, the big bad of this tournament? It is the most played deck. It is the deck that many people defaulted to, even after playing decks like, you know, Mono Green Landfall. They were just like, there's too many decision points to be made in Landfall, so Is It Lessons is easier in inverted commas. You wouldn't think you'd say that about a deck that has so many things going on.
Yeah, so many choices, that's for sure. And, you know, we don't see Slick Shot show off from Tony's build. That's kind of the, you know, the go-to list, I would say. You know, seeing the Stallion is a little bit different, but a very powerful card. And, yeah, going to be really interesting to see how Kai and this Golgari deck, you know, can fare against Is It. Golgari is just a very notorious deck that's going to be like 45 to 55% against the whole field. It's never anything that's going to have that flashy of a good matchup. And the one thing that I will think will be interesting here is Maelstrom Pulse is going to clean up so many otters. And I bet it's going to do that exactly right now.
What would we call that? Otter side?
I don't know. But Maelstrom Pulse looks to be really good right now in a sea of otters.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Sea of otters. That was a good one. Alrighty, so things underway here. Maelstrom Pulse easily snapped off there by Kai Nelson. Wants to get those otters off the board. They may look, you know, seemingly docile and totally harmless, but oh boy, a couple of spells and those guys are chunking your life total down by half.
Definitely, yeah. It's a very big problem. And I will say Tony's specific build of prowess here, where you're playing just a creature that can be removed pretty easily from Kai, I think we'll have a little bit of a disadvantage in this matchup, but we're going to see, you know, the very powerful Color Storm Stallion. That's going to be really good against, you know, maybe the Is It Spelementals deck, being that it's an elemental, and other matchups like this.
Yeah, you know, and Secrets of Strixhaven really just supercharged an already powerful archetype.
Yes.
We look at his list. He's got Color Storm Stallion, Traumatic Critique, Vibrant Outburst, Prismari Charm. So many cards from the new set have made their way into this archetype. So they're feasting.
Yeah, and of course, maybe the most important one, Flow State. Flow State ends up just being so incredible. So yeah, it will be very interesting to see if Is It's going to take it down, or the players that are gunning for it can do it.
It's always fun to predict in the beginning of a tournament who's going to be in the top 8, like what's the makeup going to be. My prediction, 3 Is It players, the rest are going to be something else.
Okay, fair. But I'm not sure. Too early to tell, but I mean, we saw from Lorwyn Eclipsed where it was Cub decks. It was the rhythm decks everywhere. And, well, they ended up doing horrific. There was one in the top 8, and it kind of snuck in. So really anything can happen here. I got to say, one of my favorite stories from the Spotlights was Kai Nelson being able to commentate that event where he was a huge Avatar fan, you know, crush Spotlight Avatar with an Avatar-themed deck.
So
like,
cool.
It was really, really fun to watch. And big congrats again.
Yeah, you know, it's almost as perfect as Ken Yukihiro being a massive Final Fantasy fan.
Yeah,
winning it in a Final Fantasy shirt, you know? It's just, there's some moments that you can't write better.
Exactly.
And that was definitely one of them.
So Kai did miss a land drop here. Not ideal, as we're going to be losing some life here with this Annex for a while. But that Furdok Core is a new piece of technology that these Golgari decks have been playing. And normally it just looks a 3-mana rock here that doesn't look that great. But the fact that it is a demon and every other creature type is a big deal. That no matter what, with that core in play, they're always going to be draining the opponent, and artifacts not that easy to remove in this standard metagame right now.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Super cool inclusion there in the list here for Kai. 2 of in the main deck configuration. And doing a good job here of, you know, protecting the life total, trying to get these itty-bitty critters off the board. 2 Boomerang basics have attempted to keep some semblance of a board state for Toni Martos. But yeah, Kai definitely has the removal needed to fend off these Izzet prowess attacks.
Yeah, Kai had a really brutal sequence of draws there, not drawing a land at end step and not drawing one for the draw step. If he was able to go Furdok Core, land, Bitter Triumph, this crab that you have to pretty much assume is going to come down. We have 4 instants or sorceries in the yard. It's pretty face up, and it's indeed in Tony's hand.
Before?
Yeah.
And now with this crab coming down, Kai decides to not Furdok Core just so he can have 2 pieces of removal. Might Bitter Triumph and deal with the Otter here, which is a big game.
Requiting Hex, Bit of Triumph, Goodbye Critters, Eddie Merc Crab, a real pain in the backside, but a clean answer there from Kai Nelson. So really just running Toni Martos out of resources, trying to keep the creatures off the board, make him waste his spells, you know, with no real benefit from them.
Yep.
So yeah, so far Kai going toe-to-toe with Toni.
Absolutely. And this is the kind of game and this is kind of the situation where Slickshot Show-Off would be amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it would be able to finish those last couple points of damage. Of course, the horse can do that pretty well, or pretty great as well. But neither of them showing up. So Kai will have the chance to kind of claw back here against Toni.
Charm, Burst Lightning, Get Out, another Burst Lightning. So lots of gas in hand, just needs something on board to help push this game over the edge and get Toni up 1-0.
Yeah, and the Get Out normally looks great. Be like, I'm going to counter something awesome with this. But the Furdok Core will be the perfect card if Kai does decide to go for that.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's pretty tempting to go Badgermole Cub first, which that will run a bit of a foul here.
Yeah.
So Kai has a big decision here. This, you know, could easily be the game decision here. And we'll see if this Get Out gets cast or just destroy it on the stack. Toni has a plethora of answers to this.
Yeah, don't want that land to be earthbent, so it looks like we're going to Charm first and foremost. Prismari Charm, Surveil 2 and draw. Looks like the mode that was chosen.
Just an instant speed preordained mode, a very solid plan. And now the fact that we can get out this or Burst Lightning, then plus the Stallion, we will have a good amount of damage here.
Yeah, so that was not on the stack. It had resolved.
Yeah.
And we do get the Earthbent land. But that's another juicy target for that other Burst Lightning.
Yeah, and that is interesting. If you get out here and you were to counter that.
Yeah, you wouldn't have the land to deal with.
Yeah, well, I think you just, you know, you have a solid chance of winning the game because you get out, counter that. Kai's going to go down to 9. You have the Stallion, which is 3, double Burst Lightning upstairs, which each one is essentially a lightning bolt with the prowess. So that would have been 9 damage. Would have been Xaxes, but we, of course, have perfect knowledge and we know the hand.
Yeah. Turn passes back now to Toni. We saw a Color Storm Stallion to hand there from the Prismari Charm. Up to Get Out and Burst Lightning. Horse time? Yeah!
It's horse time.
Giddy up.
Move to blocks.
Yeah, this card has been great. You know, it has been a nice kind of juke where all the prowess decks are just kind of doing the same thing. Slick Shot Show Off, Crab, Storm Chaser's Talent, and now having this ability to have this really tough to deal with threat. And when paired with Burst Lightning, you know, you're dealing a ton of damage. You get one kicked Burst Lightning is 11 damage with just the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's super, super
really powerful.
Love these spells that have, you know, multiple casting costs attached to them. Use them early, use them late. Especially with this horse down, kicking a Burst Lightning is going to be painful.
Oh, this is going to be so good. Strategic Betrayal is perfect.
Oh,
being
goodbye,
able
horse.
And the graveyard. So you're really neutralizing any of, you know, the very powerful things that you have of any graveyard. Bouncing the Stallion here, very much needed.
He got out of there real quick, huh?
That's just a one of in Kai's deck, and it looked excellent there.
My goodness. All right, so Horsey's safe, back in hand. Storm Chaser's Talent. Still got plenty of power in hand. There does Toni. Turn passes back to him. Now Sleight of Hand picked up as well.
Yeah, and the Furdok Core is now making it so Kai's gaining 2 life, draining Toni as well, but the most important thing is gaining some life here. And with the Stallion, you're able to play that. That's 3 And let's say you can cast 3 spells, that makes it 6. Burst Lightning would be a total of 8 damage, so looks like Kai will survive this turn, which is huge.
Yeah. And just to clarify, the Color Storm Stallion, he doesn't get the +1 if 5 mana is spent. Gets a copy of it instead of. Is that right?
No, it's both. Yep.
Both?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Alrighty.
Yep. You get both
Sweet,
because
okay.
that's why Burst Lightning would be 11 because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
4 from one, 3 from the one that you make the copy plus the 4.
5, right?
Gotcha.
Oh, 7.
The horse gets it all.
Those
5
three
right.
sound
No,
early.
7.
Oh, right. 7. Yeah.
So kind of prowess, but not.
Yeah. Yeah, prowess for only instants and
okay.
sorceries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't get boosted from the Storm Chaser's talent.
There's like 3 different ways that these creatures get pumped if he was playing the Slickshot Show-Off as well.
Exactly. So just a bunch
Oh
of
my
Annexes,
goodness.
and that's great.
I can do this.
We're going to gain 6 life and go up to 13, but I believe Toni put another horse into his hand with Burst
So,
Lightning, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9,
15?
10, 11, 12
13?
damage.
13,
I count
yes.
12, but the opt will be 13, 14, 15, so
Good lordy.
should be GG in favor of Toni here.
Here we go. Burst Lightning right upstairs. Make a copy of the Color Storm Stallion. Trigger Prowess on the Otter.
That's the easier way to do
Yeah.
13, you know? You could have taken more game actions and did the Stallion as well, but...
Yeah, 13. Jeez. Wowza. So, who wins between 3 Unholy Annex or 1 Horsey Boy?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I mean, I think the Stallion and Slickshot Show-Off would have done similar things there.
Yeah.
But Stallion was definitely cooler.
Yeah, you know, play the new card. It's fun.
Exactly.
Certainly aren't lacking power in the new sets as they come out, so good to see, you know, a little bit of variety in a pretty figured out archetype.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. Is It Prowess has been doing great. You know, a couple tournaments ago, it was kind of the deck that just had the best win percentage, so people picked it up for the Spotlight in Richmond. It had phenomenal numbers there, and now it's just cemented itself as the best deck.
Absolutely.
2 strategic betrayals in hand for Kai, so
All right.
really solid at neutralizing both an early start plus the graveyard.
Toni having as much fun as he possibly could in the early turns here. Bouncing back the little Otter Maker and getting in there for 2 or 3 points of damage. Here comes a Carsey Revenant. Alrighty. Haven't seen this one in a hot minute.
Great card. Just being able to have it be a significant body with lifelink that has to be dealt with.
Yep.
And then the fact that you can boost up one of your creatures and give that lifelink a little bit later too is awesome. Looks like Toni does have Impractical Joke or Seer to deal with it.
Impolite Joke gets, oh, excuse me, Impractical Joke. Gonna get rid of that guy, so he's in the yard. Might come into play a little later on, but at least it's not exiled.
Yeah, Kai's like, please don't say that says exile.
Yeah.
It's like, no, damage can't be prevented.
My
Okay,
guy.
excellent.
I needed that.
So it looks like we have another Maelstrom Pulse, which was great in the early game for the last game we played. And Toni might kind of fall into that same trap of redeploying the Storm Chaser's talent, but decides not to. Heads up play there from Toni.
Doesn't want to get pulsed yet again, although it didn't seem to really affect him all too much in the last game.
I mean, it was definitely stopped him from dying very quickly.
Yeah, true.
And
Got to stay of execution just a little while longer.
exactly.
Talent get out. Prismari
Restless
Charm
Child.
and Seer in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kai just staying alive one extra turn for that last game would have been pretty close to winning the game when you're hitting your opponent for 6 each turn.
That's true. Prismari Charm now. Digging a little deeper into the deck here for Toni.
Solid versatility from that card. I
Yeah.
mean, really, all 3 modes are great. In the mirror, dealing with 2 otters is excellent.
Yeah.
You know, bouncing an Eddie Merc crab before your opponent's about to Sunder Flock you. Or just, of course, this preordained mode is excellent.
Sleight of hand now available for Toni, so Plenty of gas in the tank here. Storm Chaser's Talent. Otter comes back. And we do the same old Boomerang basics at back to hand.
Yeah,
Kind
something
of funny to imagine an otter being on top of a boomerang. You know, you send it out and then it comes back.
There you go. Yeah, we're going to be seeing and saying that a lot.
Yes.
And it's going to be Storm Chaser's Talent being returned to hand. That powerful combo of Boomerang Basic and Storm Chaser's Talent. And the inevitability it gives you. Eventually, you will win the game with Otters.
Yep.
As long as there's not a rest in peace style of effect, that engine never ends.
Nope.
You got 4 mana laying around? All right, buy back the
Yeah.
basics. Bounce
Easy.
it, play another Otter.
Yeah. Color Storm Stallion in hand now for Toni. 2 little friends here. I'm guessing they're going to get pulsed. Let's see what Kai does here. He does have Emeritus of Abundance if he wants to go and fish back a friend from the graveyard, but kicks things off here with Soulstone Sanctuary.
Yeah, wow.
Merit of Abundance.
Had the opportunity to Maelstrom Pulse away this Otters, you know. I mean, took the conservative play last game and didn't this game. We'll see if it punishes you. Leaving 2 Otters when you also have the Stallion for another Haze Thread, this can be a lot. This can be a lot for sure.
I do kind of like this. It's kind of him saying, all right, well, I know you're going to hit me for a lot, but if I don't have a way to actually apply pressure to you, I'm just dead the longer the game goes anyway.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that creature won't be around to get renewed on by the Karsi Revenant. So in for a lot is the ultimate result.
A good chunk of 8. You know, I mean, that is a huge hit, but now, like you were saying, Kai has stabilized and can Maelstrom Pulse away the Otter, and then can Strategic Betrayal away the Horse and the Graveyard. And as long as Toni doesn't have another threat, you know, Kai's got to be feeling pretty safe about that, and I don't believe Toni does, so this will be a nice turn for Kai.
Yeah. Pulse. Bye-bye, little buddies. A little bit of Otter side to get the turn going here. Strategic Betrayal and Llanowar Elves. Hey, you're late, but you're here.
Kai was saying Witherbloom was his college of choice here, basically saying, thanks to Reed Duke, you know, the professor of green-black strategies, and I think Reed Duke would have been happy to see Maelstrom Pulse picking up another 2-for-1.
I'm surprised we haven't summoned Reed Duke in this game, considering it's Golgari midrange.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm sure the hairs on the back of Reed's neck have stood up when someone Maelstrom pulses away 2 creatures.
His spidey senses tingled, for sure.
What a draw there from Toni, though. Storm Chaser's Talent number 2, so you can get full value from Get Out, is awesome.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of Otters.
That's all right, right?
Some would say utterly broken. And now Kai kind of out of gas.
Yeah, just Strategic Betrayal to deal with something big, but currently it's all just a bunch of little idiots.
Maelstrom Pulse number 2 would look pretty good, but...
Yep. How many is he playing? Let's find out.
Looks like 2 in the main,
yeah.
So it's definitely possible. But now, even if you do that, Toni has the ability to every single turn level up talent, pick up Get Out. Say go. If he doesn't have to counter something, Get Out, bounce 2 talents, rinse and repeat. The double or the Get Out with double Storm Chaser talent draw from these Izzet decks is equally as disruptive as the Boomerang Basics.
It is, huh?
Storm Chaser's talent. Yeah.
It's a neat little piece of tech in this deck. You know, you don't see
Really
many
nice.
people playing Get Out, but like it's looking very impressive here for Toni.
Definitely.
I mean, you got to do something. So what? Do you animate a land, or are you just going to Strategic Betrayal and get rid of that possible loop that you just mentioned?
Yeah. I mean, I would think, especially since you're hellbent here, no cards in hand for Kai.
Yeah.
Kai has the solid play of Animate Soulstone Sanctuary, and then the next turn put the Revenant Death Touch life counters on it.
That would be sweet.
Yeah, it's not bad.
At least pad the life total a little bit.
Yeah.
On a Vigilant creature.
Yeah, yeah.
Double dip in the life gain department.
Very solid, but of course, these Izzet strategies just play so much efficient removal.
Can I up this without target?
Yep, can you Storm Chaser's talent without the target? And yeah, Strategic Betrayal, getting rid of Get Out here is a big deal. And now that's kind of the you know.
That is a good question.
Yeah, the brutal aspect here of the plan C when you have Storm Chaser's talent, just get it to level 3. You almost never you know, see that card go all the way up. But
Yeah.
when you got nothing else to do.
Yeah, you want to use your mana in some way. And
Exactly.
when games do go long, this is where Storm Chaser's talent shines, because eventually you're going to draw into your flow states, your stock ups, your opts, whatever, and that every single time just creates a bunch more little idiots for you. And eventually, Kai's at 7 currently. You're going to get him done. Oh, goodbye. Hey, hi.
Absolutely. And looks like
Excellent.
Kai is just looking to get busy here.
All right.
Combat. Yes.
Looking to get busy with the cottage and the soulstone instead of trying to bring back the revenant.
Okay.
You get a food, so you
Yeah,
kind of
food
gain the
tokens.
same life.
Yeah. You know, Kai must be pretty worried that Tony's out of gas.
Yeah.
Otherwise we would have seen an attack last turn, perhaps.
Yeah, if there was a seer, anything that could deal with a soulstone sanctuary, those otters were
Yep.
getting in there. Burst lightning, any of that. So you got to assume the hand is probably land.
Yep. So Kai looking like pretty stable right now.
Yeah.
Has the long goodbye in hand as a backup against any surprise horses that may come from Tony's side of things. But no, just looks like it's land and pass the turn back.
And Tony flooding out, and you got to think, you're like, oh man, Tony, you know, got pretty unlucky here, is just flooding out, but those strategic betrayals prevented
They've
the
done a great job.
inevitability.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you never can fully flood out when you have Storm Chaser's talent and either a boomerang basic or a get out in your graveyard. So Golgari has to attack these Izzet decks on that axis where they have to deal with the threats. They have to deal with the graveyard too.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Izzet Prowess so dynamic,
Yeah.
is it attacks you from so many different fronts.
It sure does.
Thinking.
And Kai's done a great job this game of keeping control of the battlefield, of keeping control of the graveyard. And, you know, even if he need to, he has a duress in hand to keep control of Tony's hand as well.
Yep.
So 2 food, 6 life essentially, hanging out on board there. So Kai very comfortable.
Yep, with a removal spell as well. You got to think the games where Tony wins this is going 3 sleight of hands in a row, you know,
Something
into a burst
crazy.
lightning, and then you get 4 otters with that, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing Tony's looking to do, and it's well within the range here of this prowess deck.
Yeah. So elf down, otters down. That's a bit of a relief there. So no immediate pressure there from Tony's side of things. Top of the deck needs to be kind to him, or we're going to go to game number 3 here. It's been a pretty sweet little back and forth. Oh, hey, horsey.
Yep.
It doesn't do anything currently, but
It's kind of wild that sleight of hand or opt would be better than this 3-drop extremely awesome rare from Secrets of Strixhaven. But yeah, not amazing here.
I'm sorry. You are?
Maybe just a blocking duty here, huh?
7 to 9.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, the cottage is a 4/4, so no trades there. And now, you know, it's long goodbye, dealt with. Have we got lethal here, perhaps? Not yet.
Not quite yet, but yeah, long goodbye. A nice little piece of tech against the horse. You don't have to pay the ward.
Oh, something else that likes eating graveyards?
Yes.
Little trash panda, keen-eyed curator drawn.
Yeah, Keen-Eyed Curator kind of jumped out to be the anti-Izzet Spelemental style card. Recently had some very strong results in online events.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's really
Been doing
proved
well, yeah.
itself. Yep.
Who was the player that went like 11-0?
I believe
with
it
Keen-Eyed
was
Curator main deck?
the Magic Online named Zerk.
Zerk,
Yep,
yeah.
who took it on, took that tournament down, going 11-0 with a mono green landfall deck with 4 of that in the main, and 4 Melstriders Resolve, the kind of the tech there.
I really want Kai to renew. Please, please,
Yeah.
please. For me. Just because it's fun and silly.
For sure.
Come on. Do it for the lulz.
I believe Kai is just thinking, do I want to duress first? It doesn't make
Island.
sense what...
I will.
Looks like he did.
Oh, he did duress, yeah.
Okay.
I think he would have given him that. Well, did he? I don't know. All right.
I believe Tony said, I have island, so we
I
must
heard that
have.
too.
Okay, there we go. We tapped the land.
Okay. I was like, what's happening here, friends? There's no free duress, as far as I know.
I mean, we did only tap 3 lands, and we ate a horse, so
Go ahead.
something's fishy there. That's all right. Yep.
Yeah,
Doesn't
okay.
Look like anything
Wait,
mattered
I
here. Game 3 between these two. Gotta love it.
Yeah, it's been a fun little back and forth here between the best. Well, okay. It's the best deck statistically.
So far.
So far.
Yeah, we'll
so far, it's
see.
the best deck, but it will be the best deck here this weekend.
I mean, I
we
keep
saw
on,
we saw at Proto Lorwyn, the best deck did not win.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. I wanted to call back to Lorwyn where Bant Rhythm was the deck.
Yeah.
And man, there were a lot of decks that beat that deck. You know,
yeah.
Spelementals being kind of the favorite there.
Yeah, the Badger, what's Badger? The little guy killer. Completely forgot his name for
Badger
a second.
Molkov, yeah,
That's
there you
the
go.
one.
There you go. All right, so Toni, not with that explosive start, AK just getting, your games look so different when you have a Storm Chaser's talent because all your cards work with it. So when Prowess is just casting spells, it looks like a much different deck.
Sure does.
And now we might see the Professor in action here. The sweet new Golgari Planeswalker.
Ooh, Professor Delian fell. Oh, yeah, this card is sick.
We have
4
not-
abilities on a 4-mana 5 loyalty Planeswalker? What?
We haven't seen a Planeswalker this good in a while.
Yeah.
You know, and
He's excellent.
it's very, very good. So I'm excited to see this one in action. Being able to tick up to 7
Yeah, in
know?
1 turn.
and then ultimate on the following turn. Now, the ultimate's not, game-breaking like some of the ultimates are, but it is good.
Yeah. I mean, if you're playing any life gain strategies, he's freaking fantastic. So
Yep.
he looks like a bit of a jerk, but, whatever.
And you look at Tony's hand, not too many great answers to the Professor, so I might be taking Tony to school. Doesn't decide to play it, though. There's a plethora of things that could have been there.
Yeah.
And even if you tick up to 7, there's always that Boomerang Basics to bounce it, but
Yep.
that's not a good answer.
Instead decides, I'm just going to make my Soulstone Sanctuary into a creature, and let's go from here. Another Soulstone in hand, so first things first,
15.
get punching.
Ooh, a good draw there. The
That's
Emeritus
nice.
to be
Yeah.
able to regrow Strategic Betrayal. That's pretty tempting, but wow, looks like Kai is going with the strategy of, I'm going to make you deal with these creature lands, and then once you're kind
then we'll
of
talk.
distracted, then the Professor will come down.
If you're not careful, Tolarian Community College's professor is going to appear.
The one thing about that plan is I don't truly love it for Kai because, well, if Tony's not playing spells, what does he have? Removal. And, we're going to see that. So I think if Kai had perfect information, he would have slammed that Professor on 4. Turn 5, he would have Emeritus, regrowth the Strategic Betrayal and went from there.
And now we're in a bit of a pickle because 2 lands down, and we're behind in the mana department.
Yeah. And now the old Eddie Merck is going to be coming down very soon. And by the way, Eddie Merck Crab, let's pull that one up on screen. I think this is truly going to be the Pro Tour of the Crab. I think this card has just really elevated. Even the Lessons decks are adopting this strategy in some regards instead of Monuments and stuff like that. Eddie Merck Crab has just felt amazing in Standard these days.
Yeah, 2 mana 5/5 at instant speed seems pretty good.
Yeah, pretty solid.
It's annoying as hell having down your stuff.
And whenever you can just attack with it, Boomerang Basic it back, tap your opponent's stuff down again the following turn.
out of here.
You enjoy this, don't you? You like watching your opponents squirm.
Needless to say, I don't think I have to tell the audience what
damn.
school I would be attending here.
Burst Lightning, Boomerang Basics, Eddie Merc Crab, and Get Out in hand there for Tony. So mostly known information for Kai, who has Delian Fell, but no way to cast it. 2 lands have been destroyed, courtesy of Tony.
Yep.
Emeritus.
Sorry.
And I believe we haven't played a land, so
There
we
you
just
go.
go land
All right.
Emeritus. That's totally fine. Now Tony has the option of tapping out, Burst Lightning it,
Yeah.
or the
Tough one.
Traumatic Critique off the top was pretty solid.
Yep.
That was interesting because you could have just, dealt 3 to it and did a little bit of looting with the Traumatic Critique. But looks like Tony wants to save that for a little bit more value. And
It's 4 toughness, right?
0.
oh yeah, it is
Yeah,
for
yeah.
toughness.
16,
Yep,
yeah.
thank you.
16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here comes Delian. Hey, bud. What you gonna do?
I always think when you have such
You
a
are
great
not lying.
creature like that, it
It can't be
Shit.
better
it
than
can't
a
be that
3/3, right?
statted, right? It's
Yeah.
got to be a 2/3. No, that is a 3/4. You're right.
Here comes Delian. What has he chosen? To draw a card, lose a life. So
Looks
no
like it.
plussing or no adding loyalty counters there.
When your life is so high here, you can
Yeah.
get a card out of it. So just in case Tony does have the ability of dealing 5 damage to it, Broadside Barrage, something like that, you still get some value out of it.
Traumatic Critiques art. I chuckled so hard when I saw this card spoiled.
Yes. Yeah, it is pretty good. And just a great card.
The
we're gonna be
artist
seeing
should
that one
suffer
a
for
lot.
their craft, not the audience.
We're going to be seeing a lot of that card in a lot of different shells.
Yeah. Crab shells?
It does. Well, that's one of them. But so far, this game has just looked so different in the sense that Toni just didn't have that early start.
Yeah, where the modders at, man?
Yeah, games 1 and 2.
Haven't seen any.
Toni was mana efficient every early turn. When you're just this is-it control deck where you're not being proactive, you know, it looks a lot different.
Yeah. And like you mentioned, this deck can fill multiple functions. You know, it can act as the control deck when it needs to. It can be aggro when it needs to.
Yes.
But, you know, up against a deck like Kai's, where I think the longer it games, the more it's going to favor the mid-range strategy. Like, especially given how things are currently without any pressure from Toni's side.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, Golgari never kind of runs out of steam. It's never doing anything too flashy in the early game, but
Just solid.
if you give it enough time, there's enough card advantage and that kind of stuff here that Kai usually wins the late game. But definitely not always, because Is-It is just that incredible that it's good early, it's good late.
Ooh. Ral, Crackling Wit. Drawn to hand there.
And
Another otter.
Yep. We are all set up to go here with Eddie Merck. And here's a little nice tempo play. Boomerang basic it back, and now have the 2-mana 5/5 ready to go. So just replaying the Professor, draw a card. It's not that great.
That sounds so silly. 2 mana 5/5. That is true. You know, Kai wishes he had a strategic betrayal here to try and prevent that from happening. But
yeah, and I mean, I want to point all that back to when Kai took that, I would say, it oddly aggressive line with animating Soulstone Sanctuaries over and over, where instead you could have just went Professor into Emeritus and regrowth back to Strategic Betrayal. I think you'd be in a lot better situation if you did take that line.
Delian fell, redeployed once again. Now it looks like we're just going to gain some life.
19.
That's just to get out of range of the crab. And hey, 2 mana 5/5.
Yeah.
My Requiting Hex is going to be sweet, right? No, that's not how that one works.
I wish.
But this is Kai saying, all right, if you want to deal with the Professor, you have to attack. Oh, never mind. The horse off the top is perfect.
Oh, hello.
You get to
Off
play
to the
the
races.
Yeah, there you go. You get to play the Stallion and just attack it now.
Yeah.
What a huge draw.
Yeah, Critique would have taken care of it too, but having the horse there, you know, just
Yeah.
the cherry on top.
And now you get to keep the Critique
And the
for...
Critique, make a copy of it.
There you
Ugh,
go.
That's a lot of damage. How much damage is that?
Toni will be silencing the naysayers
13?
here with that traumatic critique, that's for sure.
Oh, boy. What's the rules against workplace violence?
Yeah, right. Yeah, being able to go traumatic critique for 3 upstairs.
Yeah.
Take 3, the Stallions, that will be 7 damage. That's 10.
Yeah.
That's 15 damage next turn Toni can present with just what he has.
Do we have any creature lands down there? I don't think so, right?
No.
No, I don't see one.
Okay, Maelstrom Pulse is great. Deals with one of the threats. But Requiting Hex here looks quite poor.
Yeah, you got to kill the pony, right? The pony multiplies, so
I think so.
Color Storm Stallion down. Pay the ward with it. Just the crab. Crab is still very, very dangerous, but, you know, Traumatic Critique, it's a big old fireball to the face, but it's also a bunch of cards, so.
Yeah, triggers the super opus there. And Boomerang Basic here, not so bad. Get to draw yourself another card. You know Kai can't have a removal spell because he would have killed it earlier, so that was pretty free for Toni. Boomerang Basic would be a lot worse if it just puts it into your graveyard there.
Do you think Toni took all of the Storm Chaser's talents out?
No, I don't think you can ever really take all those out. Yeah. Maybe trim. I could see trimming. I don't think I would in this matchup, but yeah, no, I would think those stay in. And if they get taken out, you got to think that Toni's bringing in more win cons.
Yeah.
I think the only matchup that I consider taking out Storm Chaser's talent is the landfall decks. And against the landfall decks, you're bringing in Wan Shi Tong Librarian and stuff like that.
Delian once again. She's like.
Good. Nope.
And wow, how good was that Boomerang Basic now?
13.
With the fact that the Professor could have came down and destroyed Eddie Merck if it was still in play.
Yeah, and now Eddie Burke gets a chance to just run this Professor down, but he's not going to be too sad about it considering what, copy number 3 is in hand?
Yeah, and all this is just, wow, interesting. Toni not going to play the Eddie Merck.
Oh. What are we doing then?
Oh, we lost our graveyard. Excuse me. Okay, we got betrayed.
Oh, yes, right. Okay,
Yep.
sorry about that.
What is it? 2.
Yeah, excellent here for
Yeah, okay.
Kai then.
Kai is sitting pretty then. In a really, really good spot. Critique, chucking some cards, Impractical Joke drawn. That'll take care of this copy of Professor Delienfeld.
Yep. Does say Planeswalkers.
I was like,
Sure
yeah,
does.
Joker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have killed a fell with that.
Yeah, it's not
Limited.
exactly lightning bolt.
No, yeah,
13
it does its
That's
best
right.
impersonation.
Exactly.
Yes, 13 balls. No.
Okay, I mean, that was a huge draw for Toni, being able to neutralize that. And now, well, Eddie Merc Crab isn't a 2-mana 5/5, but it is a 5-mana 5/5 that you can cast right now. So we did draw another Professor, but looks like Kai is not going to play it.
Okay.
Or maybe our graphic hasn't updated. That could be as well.
Is it just requiring Hex in hand, maybe?
I mean, if the Professor's there,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, he's there.
Professor to be able to deal with the crab looks excellent here.
Yeah.
Once again, Get Out showing its awkwardness, you know, creature and enchantment.
Yeah.
There's planeswalkers and artifacts that matter in this, but Get Out being able to bounce this, still very strong.
I mean, to be fair, the metagame isn't at a point where people need to start playing around Planeswalkers. Like, Delienfeld's really, really good, but, you know, Golgari midrange is firmly in the other Dex registered category.
Yeah, there's Rawl and this planeswalker, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite cards of all time here off the top, and it's going to look so good.
Roaring Furnace.
Time to relax in the furnace.
Oh.
The sauna.
The sauna or the furnace? Which
Both.
side?
Both.
Both?
You
Okay.
start with the furnace, you play land 5, and you head on into the sauna. Relax a little bit.
Yeah.
And draw yourself a couple cards. And we thought Kai was the deck that was going to be drawing 2 cards a turn. It's Toni's turn.
Sure is.
Another card that's amazing with Boomerang Basic and Get Out.
Yeah. You know, having repeatable removal or card draw, it's just so good. Oh, hey, Storm Chaser's Talent.
Yeah.
Welcome to the party.
And now where Toni gets to go 5 mana, get an Otter, buy back Get Out.
Can I be?
And it's going to be excellent. But yeah, how about just finish the game? 3 damage upstairs, and Toni's going to take this one down.
Shoo-wee. Alrighty, so Kai put up the best fight that he possibly could with the Golgari midrange, and he gave Toni a good run for his money there. But, you know, just is it proving super efficient? Card draw, removal, permission, whatever you could possibly want. There it is in the deck, and that's why it's been played so much this week.
And a great match, back and forth, you know. I mean, there were so many situations where maybe if Toni didn't have that one more bounce spell and the Professor would have stuck and kind of ran away with the game. You know, a lot of decision points basically from both players throughout the entire game. So Standard's going to be really fun.
It's going to be fun. Like, Standard is really, really great right now.
A lot of decisions.
We love to see all the different archetypes, you know, trying to figure out how to deal with it as a prowess fiend of the weekend. But we got plenty more magic for you, friends. So let's jump straight into another feature match here. We're going to see Zhang on Is It Lessons up against Aras Senyuz on Temur Omniscience. So, very cool combo here of players and of deck types. So let's jump straight into this as the game is in progress. Zhang up 1.
All right. Always some spice from Team Sanctum as well. So we'll see what we got cooking up here. Yeah, and this is It Lessons? You know, nothing really too spicy about this one. This is still the Monument, still the Artist Talent, some counter spells. So I was starting to look like, all right, where are the weird alt win con, stuff like that? Nope, this is a very much traditional deck here from Zhang.
Zhang goes by combo for the sake of combo online. Interesting to see they're not playing, you know, some convoluted win condition, but, you know, when a deck is this good, sometimes you just got to default to one of the best decks in the format. Now, Lessons, a little underfavored here this weekend. You know, a lot of people favoring just the prowess version of the build, but still plenty of the same cards. You're going to see similar effects. You know, I really enjoy the Monument to Endurance version. I'm sad not to see Cool but Rude in more of these decks, but hey.
Yeah, we see
Not at all.
some that play the Monument. You know, some are just playing Eddie Merc Crab, kind of doing that kind of thing. And yeah, I got to say, if you would have picked like, all right, which one of these players is playing Temur Omniscience? Which one's playing Is It Lessons? Definitely would have thought Zhang there playing the more spicy deck.
Yeah.
But hey, Is It Lessons, still phenomenal card. And there's one of the best cards against the deck in Soul Guide Lantern.
So the Temur Omniscience deck, super strong, super powerful. Zhang's got to be careful to not let a Kona Rescue Beastie hit the board, because if Kona gets tapped, well, you're going to have an Omniscience to deal with, no doubt. And then basically it's off to the races for a Senyuz, so got to make sure. And there's one of the ways to be able to tap a Kona Rescue Beastie.
Yep. All the station lands. Did miss a land drop there. So that was pretty brutal. And, you know, there's a lot of tap lands in this Temur Omniscience deck. A tapped mountain, you know, not a great land, but of course, the fact that it can station and enable your combo is a big deal. But now Zhang is just all online here with Monument, Artist Talent being level 2.
Yeah.
We've seen this a lot, and it's still very powerful.
I mean, Temur Omniscience is a sweet deck, but like, does it have the time to do this against a deck that likes to kill you, or can kill you so quickly?
Exactly.
That'll be the question here as we consult the star charts for Zhang.
Should still be the trigger on the stack to loot here. So discard draw. You can discard draw 2.
Yep.
Or get some treasures. And like Zhang had, you know, Spell Pierce has some permission. So had the ability to interact with this, but chose not to.
That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah, that's a
Whoever
nice
made that, high five.
Very cool.
Just to be able to keep track of the nonsense that Monument to Endurance can get up to.
Yeah, and the one thing about these Omniscience decks is they're very powerful. Turn 4, you know, you can win. Getting Omniscience into play has to be the most powerful thing that you can be doing. But the fact is, you can counter the creature, you can kill the creature because it has to make it through combat, so it's very vulnerable.
Spell Pierce there, stopping a stock up for Aras, who's looking for a way to try and deploy his game plan here, but Zhang keeping them in control. Abandon attachments.
Abandon trigger.
Triggers.
Treasure.
I'm going to be saying that a lot here with this deck.
Yeah. Combustion Technique in the yard.
Still very powerful.
Yep.
You know, you got to think, is it Lessons? You know, I mean, it just dominated the World Championship. It's just been good throughout, you know, Standard ever since that point. But I would say still kind of the second best Is It deck going into this.
Yeah.
Could, of course, prove itself to be the best once again by the end of the weekend.
Artist Talent giving the student discount. We can call it that, I guess.
Shock.
Fits right into the Prismari school of Strixhaven.
Definitely.
Kick consult.
Kick consult the star charts with a discount. Trigger.
Very powerful. And that's the thing is Soul Guide Lantern is very good against Lessons. You know, being able to shut off some of the powerful stuff that Grand can do. That's great. But when you have Monument, when you have Artist Talent, you kind of don't care as much.
This is like plan B, right? You know, having Grand stick on the board and having your opponent have no graveyard interaction at all, sure, plan A. But you know, this, to me, is far more powerful.
Yeah, and I think the best, you know, the Lantern's going to do at this point is, air quotes, countering a Accumulate Wisdom.
Sure,
and we see plenty of those in hand from Zhang, but, you know, countering it still means you still get the front side of it, the Anticipate, instead of just the Ancestral Recall.
It'll quench you in hand there for 2 for Zhang.
Yeah.
So 3 mana left up. That's not terrifying at all, Corey.
Yeah.
And a treasure, excuse me.
Yeah, their hand is absolutely stacked right now. Even the Combustion Technique, which can be kind of countered with the Lantern if we do get a Kona into play.
Yeah. Ashling hits the board here first for Senyuz.
Quench trigger.
Unable to pay the 2 there, so it'll quench it, gets rid of it.
Yeah, really brutal there for Senyuz to have the turn 6 quench still be an effective counter spell.
I mean, yeah, he's stuck on 3 lands, so that stock up, countering the stock up there, I think, was probably what broke the camel's back.
Right now.
And it's like...
in response to trigger?
No, I mean, You do this, then I'll do this.
Okay. I trigger first.
Okay.
So this is just how exactly
Yeah.
do you want to
Now
do
you
this?
exile.
Yeah.
And now this is going to exile, and Zhang
response
has the
exile.
ability to just cast an Ancestral
Okay, so,
Recall
I
in
have
response.
I have a money
Yeah.
trigger. I choose treasure. That's on the stack. This is on the stack. In response to all of that,
How about an Ancestral Recall? Is that pretty good?
Accumulate. Discard this one.
Ancestral Recall.
Now let's just do like
Draws 3 cards. Another card will be
14.
acquired off of the not
Yep.
so good
draw 3.
Accumulate Wisdom.
And now the 3 life mode has
No,
been activated. Whenever that happens for the Lessons
that one is still on the
player,
stack.
it's
Now-
usually GG.
Couple of lightning bolts to the
Now this
face
is all
of this
exiled.
monument.
This that goes now I get the treasure.
There we
Yep,
go.
that
A
resolves, and then-
Now I
huge
resolve
stack
this
here
one.
if you kind of
Yep.
see what is all happening. But really all this means is, in response to you countering my 1 Ancestral Recall, I'm going to recall in response and then restock up the graveyard.
Let's just say it wouldn't be, you know, impossible to see Aras scoop here because
Yeah.
he's so far behind. You know, you don't want to, at a Pro Tour, he's sitting at 3-0, but the position that Zhang is in right now, like, how do you beat this?
Yeah, and I mean, the one thing is
Monument.
top deck cavern, top deck cavern.
Yeah.
Somehow, you know, Zhang only has counter spells instead of removal spells,
Draw.
and then you put an Omniscience. So that is the type of deck where you kind of
Sure,
never
yeah.
concede because you can kind of combo out of nowhere with Omniscience. But
I think
we're
against
getting
one of the
close.
best combo players in the world,
yes,
I don't think he's going to get away with that.
yeah. This is another form of combo. you know?
Yeah. You know, I get to do 12 game actions to your maybe one.
Copy.
Yep.
Trigger.
Oh,
I think
lordy,
this is
that's
it.
got to be it, right?
Yep. So we're getting 6 damage from these monuments. The third monument's getting
treasure.
played. That's going to be 9. So this should be Zhang just playing spells during the upkeep, winning the game.
So anyways,
Yeah.
Zhang started blasting.
Yes.
Copy. Yeah.
And the absolute master off to a 4-0 start. Always fun to see.
Yeah, 14, yeah.
If I could swear on broadcast, there would be a bomb dropped. I would just say, this is insane.
Trigger.
Yeah, this is really incredible. And hey, we've
do
seen
like
lessons
Paladin.
before. And that's the
Go
thing, the
to
Teamer
6.
Omniscience deck, it's not playing good defense. You know, it is a deck that when you miss a lot of land drops, you know, this is the kind of stuff that can happen.
Okay, we were like, yeah, you know, Zhang's not playing combo. Turns out.
Lesson still has some combo aspects. That
It
is
sure
for
does.
sure.
I mean, you know, that board state could confuse even the best players in situations like this where, you know, it's such a high stakes tournament. It's the beginning of the day, yeah, so your brain and your thinks are all still there, but like that is, jeez.
A lot of stuff going on, that's for sure. But
lot
at
of
the
people
end of the
with
day, you know, Zhang still fantastic player, starting off at 4-0 with a great deck.
Yeah.
Gotta like their chances.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't give up on grind, friends. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll have more magic here from our standard section. Back with Marie at the news desk, so don't go anywhere.